What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about one super attractive trait that men love to see in women. One trait that takes a man from not trusting you to trusting you. One trait that takes a man from not being sure about wanting a relationship to thinking about commitment. But before I start, I just want to say that if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, go to girltalkwithguys.com. The link is in the description. I do half hours, video calls for an hour. I got a 3-month program for people who need long-term help and unlimited access to me. So no matter what you're going through, if you need somebody to talk to, click the link below, book a call. Now onto this topic. Now, I meet a lot of women who fumble this and ruin a lot of relationships. And this isn't something that you can pretend to do. This is something that you might have to work on if you don't have this skill set naturally. If this is not your nature, you might have to work on this, but it's something that you can improve. And if you can add it to your repertoire or your toolbox in dealing with men and in your relationships or even in your family dynamics, you will be seen as a lot more mentally and emotionally attractive to men in the long run. And that is, men are super duper attracted to women who know how to handle themselves when they're upset, when they're disappointed, when they're angry. Women who handle conflict well are extremely attracted to men, right? A man can be physically attracted to you and not be sure about you and be undecided about you, and then see you handle conflict appropriately and start to think about you as a girlfriend or a wife or as a long-term partner. He starts to think about your companionship benefits because he can take you seriously, knowing that you might not be a scorned woman, the on fire woman trying to light everything around her on fire, to set a blaze to the world around her and burn all the bridges and, break all the doors down. A lot of women take a lot of pride in defending themselves, but sometimes that defense shows up as rage. Sometimes that defense is a reckless abandonment for everything around you and everything that you've built. A lot of women let their emotions go when they're upset. And sometimes you can still be emotional, but also be logical. And that balance is very attractive to men. The way a woman watches her tone, even though she's upset, because she still cares about the interaction and the result of that interaction. That's attractive to men. The way a woman may care about the words that she uses and the tones that she takes with a man, even though she's disappointed or even though she's upset or even though she's enraged, that matters to a man. A man does not want to be emasculated. A man does not want to be spoken down to or spoken to like a child. And sometimes when women are trying to defend themselves, they feel like they need to match with masculine energy or what aggressive energy they've seen from other people or other men even, or other women who they believe are getting their respect. But just because you won the battle doesn't mean you won the war. Doesn't mean your relationship is better off. Men love women who, even when angry, are protecting the relationship through acting appropriately and saying appropriate things and fighting fair. If a woman can show me that she knows how to handle conflict, that she knows how to handle being upset, that she doesn't set a blaze to everything around her, that she doesn't destroy things when she's upset, when she's irritated, when she's disappointed, when she's hurt, I can show you a wife. When people talk about soft-spoken and submissive and all of these things, I think a lot gets lost in translation. I think two people submit to each other, so that's not what I'm talking about here. I think that the most competent in any particular situation or dynamic in the relationship should lead in that way, in that realm. So I'm not talking about that. But when men are saying soft-spoken, and sometimes when men are saying submissive, what they mean is a person who doesn't have aggression issues, right? Who's not operating from a place of, or attempting to operate from a place of dominance to get back to the middle, who doesn't need verbal violence to win arguments and to win debates, who can express negative emotions in an appropriate way that protects the sanctity of the relationship and the bond of the relationship, who doesn't say toxic, destructive things. Too many women love to yell and scream and curse and cry at the same time. And while I understand exactly where that comes from, right? The need to feel like you are being heard, the need to defend yourself, the need to take your respect back if you are in fact in a situation where you're not being respected. You're better off leaving people who don't respect you than you are evolving those types of characteristics to defend yourself, because then you'll start to use them against people that they're not necessary to be used on. A lot of women get in relationships, get used to fighting, get used to knock down, drag out, yelling, screaming, cursing matches. And then they get with a healthy minded man and they bring that element to their new relationship. And they wonder why that man can't find himself to, commit to her, or can't see her in the way that she wants to be seen, as a long-term partner, as a wife, or why he doesn't want a girlfriend when he all of a sudden gets with her, even though has a history of serial monogamy, but he doesn't want a girlfriend now. And, like these type of things men are looking for. And when men see a woman who can handle herself, be upset, but not be toxic, oh my God, it is physically attractive. It makes a man want to make love to you and have makeup sex instead of just apologizing. It makes a man want to get his own shit together and improve the way he approaches conflict and improve the things that are pissing you off when you can handle conflict appropriately. Not all the time. And don't get in my comment section talk about I've been all of those things and a man treated me like shit. Well, that was that guy. But I'm talking about from the place of a man's desires and nature. A man desires a woman who knows how to handle her anger appropriately without destroying the things around her or without talking down to him or trying to emasculate him or destroy him. It's extremely attractive. I'm not sure that there's anything that's more of a relief than to know a woman's extremely pissed for the first time, not be sure how the relationship is going to go, not be sure how the argument is going to go, not be sure if there's going to be a future, just out of the question mark of, I'm not sure how she's going to handle this. And to see her handle it with grace and with class and with respect, it's like when a woman feels protected for the first time. A guy says something inappropriate or something dangerous happens and you're with that man that you just started talking to or you've been dating for a while, but you haven't seen him in this situation. And he does the exact thing that you would hope he does. He protects you. He comforts you. He gets you out of harm's way and he handles the threat. The way that you feel about a man when he handles a threat and you feel safe for the first time and you feel protected for the first time, that's how men feel about a woman who's handling the first real argument appropriately for the first time. We see your femininity in that moment and we're attracted to it and we're thankful for it. And we feel safe emotionally because we know that we're not dealing with a woman scorned or a woman waiting to be scorned or a woman who can be scorned to the point that she tries to burn us alive. Just like you feel when a man protects you for the first time or when he does some manly shit for the first time and guards you or makes you feel safe or makes you feel secure. That's how we feel when a woman handles conflict appropriately and it's the first time that we've been in conflict with her. I'm speaking about good men, aware men. Every time I talk about any type of like shit like this, women get in the comment section and tell me about how all the shitty men have handled that, and therefore what I'm saying must not be true. But women have a selection issue, and that's a whole nother video. That's like a couple hundred videos on this channel, so check the selection videos out. I'm talking about good men, healthy-minded men, stable men are looking for that skill set in women, the ability to handle conflict appropriately and still be graceful. That's not to say you don't defend yourself. That's not to say that you don't make your points. That's not to say that you can't win the debate, the argument, or change his mind. That's just to say that you don't do it with aggressive bully techniques or as a man would do it or a simpleton would do it with another man. Men often use caveman tactics, and when we see caveman tactics from women, it is the biggest turnoff in the world. So again, ladies, if you don't have this skill set, if you don't know how to handle yourself when upset, please take some anger management classes, woosah, numb your whole ring, gankyo, count backwards from 10. I don't know what the hell you got to do. Google anger management YouTube for a while and get out of relationship YouTube if necessary. But figure out how to handle yourself more gracefully and more perceivably feminine when you're upset, and it'll take your relationships to the next level with a lot of people, because it's just like that first moment where a man protects you and he makes you feel like a woman and he's looking like more of a man to you. That's how we feel when a woman is graceful in an argument that we think that we think or fear could go left. So I hope that helps. Follow me at KidFig24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later.